And coaches, our newest 3-star diamond, that would be Susan Stearns. And we have a new 4-star diamond coach, Mike Karpenko. And let's jump to a new 7-star diamond coach. That would be none other than Jess Dukes. Also, we have a new 9-star diamond coach. Congratulations goes to Amber Bailey. And coaches, a new 13-star diamond coach, none other than Chelsea Pearson. Way to go, Chelsea. That is huge. All right, that's it for ranks for this week. To Success Club point earners, here we go. The first one on top of that list, Ashley Molstad, Angie Belmar, Raina Odell, Jamie Glassman, and Ashley Smith. All right, that's it for this week, coaches. Short and sweet. Want to wish you a very fantastic week, and I'm going to throw it back to you, Sandy. Let's see what we got.
Hi. Okay, we are back, and I'll start my video again. I've got some announcements. Sorry about that on Facebook Live. Not sure what was going on, and it says it has timed out again. All right, I will keep doing this, and I've got some announcements for everybody. So let me go ahead and share my screen, and we're gonna do this right. We're gonna get it done. Share my screen there. All righty. So Team Cup Summit Edition. I keep getting pinged. All right. This February, we are rewarding you and your hard work with recognition prizes that you can enjoy at Summit. There's a couple of 3 things that you can earn. You can earn a Team Cup live workout with our brand new program. You'll get some expanded on-stage team recognition and a VIP experience. Now, those of you that have been to Summit, you know we recognize our people right. We treat them well, and you're going to get a great Summit experience. So it's only 2 more days until registration ends. You know where to go. It's teambeachbodycup.com. But there's an update to the Tier 1 prize, and that is that adorable umbrella that is branded with Team Beachbody will go to all coaches who achieve Success Club in February. So that is fun. Now, the other thing is the ticket special for Summit. Do not forget, you have 2 more days to get that $145. What are you waiting for, you guys? What are you waiting for? Indianapolis is going to be so much fun. And you know who's going to be there, right? It's going to be Jeff Hill. And a lot of fun things are going to happen. So it is a savings if you get it now. I just don't understand what you're waiting for. Come on, let's bump those numbers way up. You know what Carl's parking lot says, right? Get your ticket now at coachsummit.com. And last but not least, the third announcement for today is the Carl's 1x3x5 Facebook group. Okay, there is an update on this. If you were freaked out a little bit that you had to be both registered for Summit and on a Team Cup, we removed one of those to make it easier for you to participate in this group. So you don't need to be on a Team Cup to participate. You do need to be registered for Summit 2018, so do that. And this is all about Success Club. You're going to learn how to achieve it, how to help others achieve it. And that is what's called duplication, guys. All right. And this group is open from February 5th till Summit in June. And Carl is lining up some of his friends who are incredible personal development speakers, and they are going to jump in that group. So with that, if I am live, I don't know, but if not, then I'd like to introduce our President of Global Sales, Jeff Hill.
Sandy, this has been an absolute delight to watch this morning. Hey, but listen, here's what's happening. And this is just like running the business, right? You try new things, and what happens is you rinse and you repeat and you go, this is the next thing we should be trying. And then you work out the kinks as you go along. So the fact that we're doing this, the fact that we're trying to make this more interactive, we know there's going to be kinks, but we're going to roll with them. And we hope that you'll roll with us on this. The content is still going to be absolutely fantastic. But I just want to say something before we get over to Amy Silverman for what's going to be an absolutely incredible call. Sandy talked talked about Summit. Yesterday I got up early in the morning and just, some quiet time. And I was thinking about Summit. I was looking, scrolling some of the Facebook and Instagram and thinking about there's a few days left to take care of this, to register at this $145 special price. And I posted on the Champions page. And if you're a member of the Champions page, there's like 90,000 people there. So the chances are you're there. Go read my post, but I'm going to repeat it. And it's why, if you're not registered for Summit, why not? Are you in or aren't you? Because this is a bet on yourself. This is an investment in your business. Sandy talked about this Summit being fun and all those kinds of things. It is fun. But more importantly than being fun, it is about investing in your business. And if you're serious about your business, this is a place that you will be. This is where we bring all of the best training, and we condense it. And this is where you will put yourself in the place of highest potential to learn the most you can about this business that will create the highest probability for you to create success in your business. If you're serious, then you will find a way, you will make a way. If you just want to dabble in this business and have fun, I appreciate that. I get that. I understand that. You may be dipping your toe in the water right now, but then you need to expect results that match that kind of activity, right? I mean, that's just how life works. I share this on the page. But if you want real results, you've got to do those things. You've got to invest in those things. Just like we're doing with this call, you got to put yourself in these new situations to learn and grow and work out the kinks. So coaches, you've got 2 days left to register at the $145 special price. If you're registered, then man, you got to be finding someone that you are invested in to get them to invest in Summit. We want you there because we know it's of tremendous value. That's it. We want to have fun. We want to hug. We want to, do all the stuff and work out, but it's about making you better. And if you want to make you better, coaches, you'll be there. Okay. Now, talk about great training and insights into the business. Today, we have a 6-time elite coach. That's significant. She started in, I believe it was January. I'm looking at my notes here, but I think it was January of 2011. So every year, I believe she's been an elite coach. 5 of those years, an Elite 10 coach. That doesn't happen by chance. That doesn't happen without reinventing yourself and recreating yourself and learning new things and going through the crap, right? Going through the muck sometimes. She's a 9-star diamond coach, 30 lifetime diamonds, a Success Club 10 all-star legend. This past year, she's inspired 60 people to submit their results to the Beachbody Challenge, which is really what it's all about, helping people get results, right, as we build this business. So absolutely delighted to have on the call today, 9-star diamond coach, 5-time Elite 10 coach this year, none other than, I'm looking at her in my left-hand corner of my screen, Amy Silverman. So Amy, welcome to the call.
Hey, Jeff, thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here. Hey, coaches.
Well, we're thrilled to have you. And you know what? You deserve to be here. And again, as I was sharing, as we started this, one-time elite 10, is pretty amazing in and of itself. But then, the 2 times and you go, okay, that's pretty cool. But then to continually put yourself in a position and to do the things that create those kind of results, it doesn't happen by chance. It doesn't happen without some bumps and bruises and scrapes and rejection, dejection, and all those kinds of things to create these kind of highs. So 2017, was a bit of a different year for you, a tough year. Let's just get right into this and talk about 2017 and what you learned.
Well, I would say, every year is a growth year, but 2017 was a growth year in terms of things that I had been avoiding. And I think a lot of times with this business, there's those things that we're really good at and we enjoy doing, and we can build a really lucrative business, a really awesome business doing that. And, I did that in my early years with Success Club until I hit a road, hump in the road where I was like, okay, how am I going to get to the next level? And that's when I realized that I really needed to put an emphasis on leadership and team building if I really wanted to make this a real business. Success Club is one of those things that it takes a little while to figure out, but then once you figure out, you've got it figured out and you can do it. So then you have to challenge yourself to get to that next level. And going in to 2017, they had changed the Elite 10 qualifications. And so I knew that it was going to take more effort than it had in the previous years. And I'm not saying that Elite 10 was easy in the previous years, but just like Success Club, I took time to figure out how to get to top 10. And once I figured it out, I was pretty good at staying there. And so when they changed the qualifications, I had to actually, change the way I was doing things, and I had to embrace the challenge. And there were times when I was like, oh, do I really need to do it again? I've been in it so many times, but part of me really wanted to rise the occasion. And I really didn't want to be that person that was like a one-trick pony. I wanted to show, Team Beachbody that with the changes in qualifications, I could still rise to the occasion. And so I was ready for the challenge. But then 2017 brought all these other different, just tons of different kinds of challenges that I wasn't ready for. And I think that's life, you're just going to get hit with things left and right. And even though that you're going into this with challenges, these other things are going to come at you, and it's all about how you handle them. And for me, there's non-negotiables that I have in my life, and my business is a non-negotiable. And so when these other things came into my life and I was faced with all these challenges, I just had to continue on, and I just had to continue doing what I had to do every single day. And a big part of this business is being a problem solver. So while you're doing those business building activities that you need to be doing every day, and then you're hit with all these other issues and problems that come into your life, you have to be, you have to have that stick-it-to-itness, that grit that we like to say, that you stick to those business building activities that you have to do every day, those non-negotiables, while you're being a problem solver and figuring out how to, overcome those things that come into your life, things that have to do with your business and personal life, natural disasters. At the end of the day, no matter what happens, there's non-negotiables that I do with my business day in and day out. And I think when you get to that point where you're just like, you're not going to let anything get in your way, you make it happen. And also another thing in 2017 that I was really brought to my attention, because I decided to make, every year you guys need to really focus on personal growth, obviously, but I tend to focus in on one or two things a year. And last year it was leadership, because I had to change, the way I did things. And I really had to switch from tribal leadership to servant leadership, which there's all different kinds of leadership. And I preferred tribal leadership. But this year I switched to servant leadership because I wanted to see what that felt like. And also in terms of how I carried myself on social media, I also decided to dive into more of ego-driven personal development, which caused me to handle a lot of the things I went through in 2017 with so much more grace than I think I would have if I wasn't focused on my ego in terms of personal development. So I was very aware of my mindset, very aware of the way my mind was working while I was going through all these hardships. And instead of reacting to things as they happened, I was able to just digest them. And obviously in my day-to-day life, I was able to, I was obviously, when things were bothering me, I could express it, but I didn't have to go live about it. I didn't have to post about it. I could just, carry my head high and continue to keep a strong head on my shoulders for my team, instead of, feeding into anything that would have derailed our progress. And as a leader, it's, how you react to things is how your team will react to things. So through all those hardships and all the obstacles that were thrown at me, I also, grew a lot in terms of leadership and grace, and learned so much about myself and what I can handle, which is the beauty of hard work and all those things that happen on this journey to building our business.
Well, so I don't know if I think you can hear me, but I mean, there's 6 things I could jump into right there. And in the sake of the call, I mean, you talked about, while you're going through some of these challenges, there are non-negotiables, certain activities you got to continue on. You talked about tribal leadership versus servant leadership. You talked about ego on social media, but so one question, then I'm going to try and keep this moving forward here. When you said, I continue to focus on core activities while I'm problem solving, while I'm reinventing myself, transitioning from tribal leadership to servant leadership, just identify for the newer coaches what those core activities were.
Well, core activities are going to be the vital behaviors. Those are always the non-negotiables. And so no matter what happens in our life, we can go back to those basics at any time. And I say this every year, I feel like it's always about going back to basics. With 80-Day Obsession, it's going back to the basics of being a challenger again, and just going back to those things that always built your business, and not getting derailed by, shiny objects or things that are going to knock you off your path. And I think that it really takes somebody who who is focused on their journey and has their blinders on and knows where they're going. So just real quick, yeah, it's just, you know what to do. I think all coaches know what to do. It's just about, kind of just like steering the wheel back to your lane and staying in your lane anytime you're about to veer off. You just got to veer back in.
Yeah. So I don't know that all coaches do know what they need to do all the time from the standpoint of, I think they kind of know, but I think it's always good to hear from someone who, is a 6-time elite, 5-time elite 10 to say, what I do as I'm trying to challenge, confront all of these challenges is I continue to swim in the lane with these vital behaviors. That's the piece that I keep focusing on. Now, so point made. You talked a little bit earlier, we talked about this idea of kind of trudging through the muck, when you say that, what does that mean? Trudging through the muck.
So Jeff, I don't know if you remember, but I've had a couple of breakdowns last year, but there was one specific one where I talked to you on the phone and I just remember telling you that I was just I don't want to do this anymore. I just felt like I had this feeling I hadn't had the feeling that I don't want to work my business in years. And I'm not saying it had never happened before, but it hadn't happened in a very long time. And obviously quitting is not an option, just like quitting was not an option before I was top 10. And when I was a newer coach, these are just not options. And so I had that feeling and it didn't feel good and it was uncomfortable and I had to sit in it. But, after I kind of got that out off my chest, obviously I got back to work and I was like, okay, what am I going to do to reignite my business and my passion for this and make it fun and make it rewarding and make me feel like I'm actually helping people and contributing? Because I think at some point we kind of get in this wash, rinse and repeat, wash, rinse and repeat. But reinvention is a huge part of this business. And I talked about it last year, I'm pretty sure on the National Wake Up Call. And, trudging through the muck is that feeling where you just are kind of going against the stream. It's like you're walking through this just really, it feels thick, it feels heavy, and it's normal. And a lot of times coaches come to this business and they're feeling so amazing because they're drinking their Shakeology and they're doing their workouts and they're feeling invincible and confident. And they want everybody to feel this way. And they're on this pink cloud. And a pink cloud is basically, all those warm, fuzzy sunshines, unicorns, and rainbows that a lot of coaches like to project on social media all the time. And obviously, when you become a coach, it gets real, and you have to decide: do I want to make this a hobby and just be like sunshine and rainbows all the time as a UV2 move, or do I want to, really make this a business? And sometimes things are going to happen in our lives and in our business. Customers are going to, quit. We're going to have people say the wrong things. We're going to have people come at us on social media. We're going to have family members doubt us. And those things are the things that usually burst that pink cloud, where all of a sudden it's like you start to question yourself. When you knew from the beginning why you were doing this, you start to forget why, and you start to let your mind take over. And so, when that happens, that is I feel like another example of trudging through the muck. It's just kind of like, oh my God, this doesn't feel so amazing anymore. So what are you going to do to grow your business? And what are you going to do to continue on during those times where you're not feeling like it, And it's when you get back to those business building activities and those things, pouring into your team, recruiting new people all the time, sharing your social media, being focused on your fitness journey, that you start to bring on new people and it starts to become super exciting again, because there's new energy of new people on your team all the time. That brings back the pink cloud. So I just wanted to say, for any coaches that feels like maybe their pink cloud is not floating around right now and you feel like you're trudging through the muck, you have to take the business, the yin and the yang. There's always the good and the bad. It's always going to be a little bit of both. And so, the pink cloud can come back if you really work for it. And so that's what it really means to me.
Well, I love the pink cloud metaphor and the YouTube. That's awesome. Okay, so you were in the 80-day obsession test group, and I'm sure there's and then we've got a lot of people in that group right now. But just quickly explain what you learned there, and then couple with that this concept of the power of launches. So we've got people that are in the test group, but then the question is, how do we leverage that? What should coaches be doing right now with that information to play it forward, so to speak?
So the 80 obsession test group for me, it was really about And this is the thing with and it happened to 21 Day Fix too, and the container system and the time nutrition and the workouts. And if you've ever followed me on social media, you know, like the last 7 years of my health and fitness journey has been, you know, experimenting, and I love trying new things. I've done raw food, paleo, vegan, vegetarian. I've done it all, and I'm very educated on all, and I've tested it all on my body. And when going into 8-Day Obsession, you know, I had a lot of preconceived notions about what is right for me. And when I went into this program, I went into it as a challenger, just like all coaches should. Even if you're not in the test group, all people should go into this program as if you're in the test group, and you kind of just gotta, you know, act as if your results are going to be, you know, used, because you are going to use your results for your business anyway. And you need to be able to show people that the results you've gotten with the products. And part of the 8-Day Obsession is the meal plan. You can't just do the workouts and not do the meal plan, because then you're not actually doing the program. So it all goes together. And so when Autumn said that, I was like, okay, I'm all in. And one of the things that was a huge, like I said, I was focusing on ego a lot last year, and a huge blow to my ego was that a big part of my social media was always being like trying these new nutrition things and all these like trends. And what it did in the end is confuse my followers. It confused my team. It confused me. And I realized that I was doing a disservice to the people that I'm supposed to be being of service to, by not just focusing on the simple act of clean eating and portion control and working out and drinking Shakeology. And I started using the performance line, which now so many people are using the performance line, and it's changing their life. And you know, there was that ego attached to my nutrition and to my results and how I was getting them. And I started to make it again. I went back to taking it off of my journey and making it about, okay, what can I do to really end the trend of obesity? You know, with so many people that struggle with just the basics of clean eating, I got off my high horse, my nutrition high horse, you know, on this next level, and realized that I just need to help people with the basics. I just need to help people get off the sugar, get off the processed foods, just start eating whole ingredients and micronutrients with Shakeology, and stop making it so complicated. Because by me making it so complicated, it was not helping as many people as I could help. And so it brought me back down to earth in terms of what we're actually doing here as coaches. And I stopped making it all about my body and started making it more about how I can help other people change their bodies. And of course, it's exploded my business at least by 100%, 50% at least in terms of success clip points.
Well, I mean, that's amazing. And the message that you shared right there, I think, is so powerful from the standpoint of, your observation that is you try this, you try that, you're confusing your people. And again, this is something that is proven, duplicable, and something that if you carry forward, that's where the power of being involved in a program is. People will repeat what they see from you. So, okay, a couple more questions here, Amy. You're doing fantastic, by the way. We also talked a bit about this growth mindset versus the fixed mindset. Okay, we've had that discussion. When you say that, what does that mean to the coaches out there?
So, being in a growth mindset, I think is, one of those things where people think oh, okay, personal development, growth, right? But being a growth mindset is completely different, because mindset is everything. And so if you're not in a constant state of how can I be better? How can I find a solution? It's really about those questions you ask yourself, and I challenged my challenge group the other day, because I asked them a question, and there was a lot of people that just went to the negative right away. And I was like, okay, I asked you, the simple question was what are the benefits you're seeing? And there were still people that posted something negative. And I'm like, this is where we really need to attack your mindset, because if you're always the person that goes to the negative instead of the positive, that is something that is mental. That's something that you have to change. And our worst enemy lives between our ears. And, and a fixed mindset is somebody who just doesn't, who is not willing to even look at themselves or even willing to see what they can change. And I actually have some questions here. I hope it's okay that I read them, but, and here's some questions I want you to ask yourself, coaches, to see if you have a fixed or growth mindset. So are you willing to ask those hard questions of yourself? You know, those questions that don't feel good, that, you know, you have to challenge yourself. Like, am I really inviting as many people as I should? Am I really following the meal plan, the top 1/4 of the, you know, the containers, or am I sticking to the bottom, lower quality foods? Do I believe in who I am? Do I believe who I am now is who I need to be to get to where I want to go? Do you believe that who you are now is actually the person that's going to make you successful? Because I know for me, when I signed up as a coach, that girl 7 years ago was not the girl I am today. And if I hadn't been in this constant state of growth and this craving for change, I would not be who I am today. And I'm still really hungry to change. Like, I'm just getting started. Do you believe you can learn anything that you need to learn to reach your goals? Do you honestly believe that? Like, do you believe that you are like of the potential to teach yourself, you know, or are you waiting for somebody to come and say, hey, this is how you do it. This is how you need to do it, because all of the tools are here for you. And so are you taking initiative and really believe that you can teach yourself how to be successful? And also, do you see life as a learning opportunity, or you take everything seriously, and do you take everything to heart? So that's another thing, is I feel like I see a lot of coaches, like how I said last year, I focused on grace, and grace is really how you react to things, just to clarify. So if you're an overreactor and you react to things and you cling to drama, you know, then you probably lack a lot of grace. And I'm just saying that because that's the definition. So, you know, one of the things, and I know that I lacked grace, even though I thought I had grace, I lacked it, and I wanted more of it. Not that you don't have any, it's just that I wanted to have more of it. And so I realized that I needed to stop taking so many things to heart and stop feeling defensive all the time. And it really made me a happier person. And so when I ask you that, you know, do you see life as a learning opportunity? Do you see things that people say and challenge you as an opportunity to grow? Or are you so fixed on your mindset that you get offended and you won't listen and you react and you go to the negative and you talk about people behind their backs, you know? And I think that those are really great ways to really see what kind of a person you are and who you need to become to be successful.
I'm just going to say wow on that, Amy. That is really a powerful, just what you just shared was extremely powerful. And I can tell the coaches out there, what's been remarkable for me, this is a little bit of an Amy moment for me, just talking about Amy, but I've known Amy since she's been in the business. I've been able to travel on these, you know, Elite 10 trips with her, and we have lots of one-on-one time, one-on-one discussions. And it has been amazing to watch Amy when she talks about this. She is walking the talk from a growth standpoint, from a learning and adding to herself. And I think that's absolutely core as she's continued to grow and develop. Okay, Amy, we have about 4 minutes left. So I'm going to have you squeeze in what you would like to say in these last 4 minutes as the most powerful, the most compelling, the most meaningful, the thing that you feel like you want to share that these coaches need to hear. Maybe it's about what new coaches should be thinking about. Maybe it's your greatest learning that they can apply. Maybe it's what this coaching opportunity, you know, looks like to people. But you take this next 4 or 5 minutes, and I'm tossing to you to say, this is your time.
All right, coaches, listen up. So one of the things that I really feel that could really help you to get to the next level in your business is to remember that you're going to have to learn as you go, and you're not going to be able to practice team building or building a team, I feel, unless you start to get into these cup teams and you really start to work with the people that you have and to really start to try new things. And when I say that, I mean, like, you know, implementing new things in your group, you know, for me, like, there's a no negativity policy on my team. And when I first implemented that, I'm sure the negative people didn't really like it, but now it's just always positive, and it's just the way our team culture is. But these things had to be implemented. And honestly, you know, when you're going through things with the growth of your team, and, you know, you are working with the general public, and there's a lot of personalities and things that are going to happen. But here's the deal. As you start to grow as a leader and you start to bring on new people into your challenge groups and into your team, and I think a lot of coaches are like, well, how do I keep my challenge groups fun and interesting? And how do I keep my team, participating in my groups? And these are coaches that are asking me, and they have like maybe 20 customers and maybe 5 coaches on their team. And I'm like, you just got to continue to add people. I have found in my journey, and from seeing lots of people build teams and businesses and helping people build lots of teams, is that the more new, and I like to say new blood. I don't think you like that term, Jeff, but I love the term new blood, because that's exactly what it is. It's new energy, it's new bodies, it's new warm-blooded people in your groups who are bringing new energy and excitement. And as you grow, your social media is going to attract better quality people. So the quality of people that I attracted my first couple years were very low, and they got higher, but in my opinion, they were still pretty, mediocre. And as the years have gone on, I've attracted higher quality people to my team. And I really truly believe that, that is the truth. And I feel like that is a product of me constantly evolving and changing and being the person that I am. But here's the deal. As you start to bring those people into your teams, you're going to have to understand that as you grow, not everybody on your team is growing too. You know how like when you're growing and people around you aren't growing, how they tend to feel like you left them behind? Well, sometimes that can happen in your groups. And I feel like the key to that is continuing to bring on new people who are hungry for change and hungry for growth, because those people will revive the old people. But if you're staying in the same groups, the same people all the time, and you're not adding new energy, new people, and you're not trying new things constantly, it's going to feel stagnant and it's going to feel boring, because it is stagnant and boring. There's nothing more exciting for me than bringing on new coaches and new challengers. That's why I have such high success club points, and that's why I have such high recruits. It's not because I want to be the best and I want to have the best team. It's because I have the most fun working with new people. And one of the things that I found that I loved in 2017 was also mentoring my existing people to the top, more than I was, like being even more immersed in that. And so, but that's only about 20% of my team. The other, maybe even 10% of my team, or maybe even less than that. The rest is still in the process of growing, and I'm still cultivating that. And the only way to continue to grow my team and to grow my business is to continue to add more people, and a lot of people. I don't live in lack. I live in abundance, and I want to help all the people. And so the way that I grow my business and the way that I run my groups is in terms of just like, it's just a big party. I just like to have fun. I like to add people, and I don't like to keep it too serious. And when people try to make it serious, I just say, no, it's not serious. So just remember that, you're going to be able to figure out the way. You're not going to figure things out unless you're constantly adding new people and trying new things in the process to see what works and see what doesn't work, and to see what takes and what doesn't take. If you keep trying new things with the same people over and over again, you're kind of just hitting a dead horse. You have to bring on the new breeds of horses and all different kinds of people, and see, who your real people are, and give your team the opportunity to thrive.
Amy, that was, boom, mic drop. And by the way, I do like the term new blood, because new blood is the lifeblood of your business. And it's the piece that keeps us growing. It's the piece where you continue to see the enthusiasm about the business and the lives that are changing and new growth. And it makes us better because, they give us new ideas and new thinking. And so I can't repeat what you said, because you said it perfectly, seriously. And so coaches, this is a must listen to, must watch call again. And I think you could go back and listen to every one of the bullets that Amy has shared here and start to examine yourself. She gave you these great questions to ask yourself. She talked about this concept of evolving from tribal leadership to servant leadership, and maybe what that looks like. She talked about Team Cup and bringing people onto your team. She talked about the trudge and what that looks like to go through, but that's part of the way to success. She talked about the recreation. It's the rinse and repeat, but man, as she said, it is hard. It is hard work, but that's what success is. That's what it takes. And Amy, I think also hit a theme that Carl touched on in the Super Saturday video. We want this to be fun. This should be a fun, invigorating, lively business, you know, as we go about the work of this business. Work can be fun. And that's part of the piece of bringing on new coaches. So I'm just going to end with this, coaches. You know, I started talking about Summit, and I'm going to just hit you up again and just say, you got to be at Summit. And one of the reasons why is from the standpoint of the opportunity to be in Carl's 1x3x5 group. I mean, just think about this for a minute, guys. You have a CEO who's one of the most skilled, passionate guys in the entire world, seriously. And he is invested in this group, in providing some of the best content that he can pull from the world to provide to you. And the ticket is that you need to be registered for Summit. So that's number one. The second piece is, and Amy just shared this about Team Cup, registration ends on Wednesday night. But guys, that's where you can bring new people in. That's where you can learn the business. The smart money, the smart people, that's where they're going to be. You know, we talk about it all the time. We say, oh, people are getting a little bit bored with Team Cup. And I go, it focuses on the fundamentals that brings people together. Look at any sports team. What they do is it brings the fundamentals and the teamwork, and it draws on the assets and the abilities and skills and the diversity of other people. And it's in that format that you're teaching new people. It's not just about the prizes. It's about what you learn. So again, coaches, as you get off this call, whether you're a leader who should be getting people onto a team, do it. If you're a brand new coach that's going, hey, what is that? Reach to your upline, reach out, get on a team, because that will increase your probability of success. That's going to be a key part of the ingredient to you achieving your goals, financial, physical, whatever they might be. This is a way to enhance that opportunity. So coaches, I feel like I'm screaming this morning, but I'm passionate about this. I want success for people. I want success for you. We as a company, we want you to be successful in this endeavor and to change your life and to help other people change their lives. So enough said. Hopefully we're still going. Amy, thank you. And coaches, make this a meaningful, powerful week. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. And if you're listening in, we're going to put this on playback. Let me share my screen and get out of this call. Oh, it has been a very fun morning for me. So thanks, everybody, for watching or listening. Thanks, Amy. You did a terrific job. And everybody have a fantastic week. All right. Bye-bye.